Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are honored to have our author, our friend, pro tennis player, architect John Riggio, fresh off the heels of what book fair? Where was it?
Yes, it was called The Great Big Book Swap.
The Swap. I call it a book fair, but same concept. Tell me about the book swap and how did you do?
Everything went great. I think the book swap is getting bigger and bigger. It's amazing what was happening. This year, for the last weekend, they added on something called a plant swap too, which is very interesting. A lot of times they already had some things with plants as hobbies. Now they added on the plant swap. So I think the number came in as some type of 800 people or something. It was a very large amount of people attended the event, probably even more than that. There was a whole line of people out the door, and so many people compared to last year when I started attending these author shows and showing my book. And I have a lot of photographs. I could show you pictures of it. Let me share them right now.
Beautiful.
Okay, so this is the photograph. So I think here you can see in the picture that the whole building, this building is called the Liquid Church. It's a location in Parsippany, New Jersey. It's very nice. This idea came out of the COVID era when people were in a quarantine and they had something where you could bring a book and swap a book and bring it back home and read it. And this book swap idea is continuing on. A lot of people are out here. This particular event made it where you can pay to buy some books too. And it's very good. But I think there are two parts of the book swap. One has to do with centered on books, used books, swapping books. And then the other part, many people have their own author tables, different kinds of crafts are offered here too, different vendors. And I think this is one photo looking at the front entrance door, and you see it is packed with people. There's many people here, hundreds of people. And then looking across, that goes all the way down the hallway here. And now this year, it's extending all the way down to this side of the building. It's really amazing. There are a lot of people here. You see it's packed with people looking to swap books. And so this event went very well. What I do is I always like to bring my books. People buy them. I autograph them. And this year I also had a photograph I made of the tennis fox. This is the artificial intelligence generated picture. And this went very well with children. They really liked this. I gave a number of them away, putting my autograph on them. And I think this is just a quick video showing the event. This was really where there are many people at the event, packed with people. It's a very nice event to go to. There's a lot of different people of different ages coming here. And this is just showing my desk here. Picture myself there. And this is just some shots here of where the people are coming in here. And I have some photographs here at different times. One at where most of the people are here. And then it sort of starts to dissipate because the event ends early at 2 p.m. This is just showing my desk here. And now this is showing different times when some things are starting to clear out, getting towards 2 o'clock. But I think in these pictures, you could sort of see those tables filled with used books. So people come here, they donate books, so you donate 5 books, and then they give you a card that you can go and select 5 books. So you get equal 5 books to 5 books. And that's how the book swap works. Some people load up a whole bag full of books. They like to buy all the used books, and it's really amazing. This here is showing that the crowd's sort of starting to clear out, so you can look through to the other area. I think over here on this side of the book swap, most people sort of have their used book selecting hat on. And on the other side where the other tables are, they sort of have their book buying, craft buying hat on. So I noticed from coming here different times, depends on where your table is, people are sort of looking for different things. So this is very interesting coming to the book swap. Some people only concern themselves with just the used books. Some people like to get into buying crafts and books and getting autographed books. This event, I have a number of photographs here with some fellow authors also. I swapped some books. And this is just a picture of me looking into the crowd here. Some people even have some bags on wheels, which are very smart. You don't have to really carry them around over your shoulder. You just wheel them around. And this is a nice picture of some children really like the uh, tennis fox. I gave them a nice autograph picture. Some pictures here of them. And here's another one. Any kid who's like maybe young, maybe 10, 11, 12 years old, I gave them a free book, autographed the book. And this is shown that here. And this is another young kid has that artificial intelligence picture of the tennis fox, and I have my autograph and the date on it right there. This is showing some pictures as we approach 2 p.m. It's time to clear out. People are leaving. And usually at this time is a good time to also talk to some fellow authors. I always like to see what they're doing. Some authors are making a lot of books. They're not necessarily just a one-time book. Some of the authors over here, they were doing maybe 4 or 5 books. Some authors are doing more of their own autobiography, their own story. That's more like my book, and was just showing that there. This is a husband and wife. They have a book here that they are showing here, and just sort of made friends with them, just showing their book. And I think this picture of me, you also see in the background, have all kinds of different crafts still there. Their displays are out. And this is the author of the book. We exchange books together. So this is something that authors always like to do. This is a really good thing. Autographed the book. Of course, he autographs the book here. And this is showing the 2 books here. This is someone also, he has a number of books he has written. I think it's about 6 of them. And one of them is a book on architects and architectural buildings in New Jersey that are older books. And I swapped a book with him. And this is his book, Forgotten New Jersey. His book is good. He sort of likes my book that it involves my architect profession. And so we exchanged books, and he has this very nice book of Forgotten New Jersey. Let me see if I can zoom in to get his name. His name is Rich Romano, and he's written, it looks like about 6 books at least on this. And this one is here, Garden State's Unique Historic and Abandoned Curiosities. So he's showing some very interesting structures they have in New Jersey. And this was very nice. And this time I took some photographs of the outside. It's a very large building. During the week, there's a church, and they even have all kinds of different things in there. They have a Chick-fil-A restaurant inside there. On the weekend, it's closed, so it's not open. You'd have to, they have a few refreshments there available, some snacks, things like that. And this is just a picture of the location. This is really when I was leaving, but this whole parking lot was full this time. Amazing, there were so many people coming to this location. And they even have someone here has his own book cart here. This is a couple, they are starting their own bookstore. They fill this whole thing with books, and this is really amazing thing that they've had there. So this is a lot of things were really very good at the book swap this year, and they have a lot of them. I have another book swap that I'm going to attend, and it's, let me just go on to my Instagram. It is it's on X, in fact. So let me just get it here. Okay, so let me just close this and head over to my X profile. What's happening here? Okay, so what's happening here is this is of course the pictures I posted.
Yay.
This here is
I love that. I love your superhero, your AI superhero. What do I call that? Yeah.
This looks really amazing. A lot of people really like this picture. It came out so good, and I've been printing out copies of it now and autographing them. So this is the next event coming up is coming up on May 22, and this is called the Flemington Summer Book Fest. So that is on Memorial Day weekend, and the authors event is on Sunday, on the 24th. But they have things going on there from May 22 to May 25. May 25 is on a Monday for the holiday. The I'm there on Sunday, May 24. I'm gonna have a display there with some books, same idea. People want to come out, get an autographed copy of the book, they could show up here. And they have the same idea with the book swap. This one is a little different. You get this plastic bag they give you, and you could fill as many books with it as you can. You buy the bag and you fill it with books, and that's how they do their book swaps. A little different than the other one. And so this one is just here. It's just called the 2026 Flemington Summer Book Fest. And colossal 99-cent book, record 10th sale. Everything is there. And of course, on the 24th is for authors. So there's I was saying here, dozens of local authors. I signed up. I have my uh, table is set there. So if anyone wants to stop over there, they could look at the different authors. They could stop by, visit me. I can give them an autograph book. And
Yay!
the next thing, what's happening there.
Wow. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing, John. So that was exciting. Do you have any more coming up?
Um, well, this one is on the 22nd. So from the 22nd, from the 25th of May, which is Memorial Day weekend this year, I'm going to attend that Flemington. I have a
Okay.
table reserved for myself, and it's a very nice festive event. I've been there last year. It's very nice. They have also a bookstore is right there at that property. So it's really sort of anchored by a bookstore that is there all year long. And they have some hard copies of my book in the store too for sale during the year, so you could always find them there. But so this was a very good event. It's very nice that they have this whole thing and they like all the different new authors, which is very good. This event coming up in Flemington is on Memorial Day weekend. It's a very nice event. So I think that is really good. The whole thing with the book is very nice, and I always explain the book. There's different ways to explain the book. I think a lot of people like the different things about my book was also about the profession of architect work too. If you don't like sports, I noticed talking to some people they don't really play sports. I think a lot of people assume everyone plays some sports, but I talk to some people they don't care about sports too much. The thing with the architect work does sort of take with some people. They do like the architect profession stories, and that is really good. I think some things with the architect profession might also go with people who like crafts too, uh, drawing, things like that. I think with the early starting off in the architect profession, a lot of times they
Okay.
have students build models of houses and things like that. And that's this little going to the craft store and getting all your art supplies. You always have to go to the arts and crafts store on a weekly basis going through architect school. And even today, I always have to update buying all kinds of things like the scale rulers. We still use them physically. We have to print out drawing surveys and we have to scale them sometimes. So I'm still buying those things. Most things I'm just buying online these days. I don't.
Of course.
Pearl Paint is gone. I used to go to Pearl Paint when I was younger, and they seem to have gone out of business over the years. But I think the thing with architect work, always you're visiting all the things with craft stores, that always have those architectural supplies, which is very interesting. So that is something that has nothing to do with playing sports. And things like that. Of course, to do all those things, you have to have skills to do all the things with the arts and crafts and all the different things with art and architectural work. And And then of course the next thing that everyone gets into as they grow their hobby, they grow their business, then you have to learn your business knowledge. You have to get your to really make those things go forward. I think a lot of people at the swaps, they're just
Yeah.
getting into that whole thing of growing their business, learning business knowledge and things like that. And that is really something interesting. I know having my own office, I've had to increase the amount of business knowledge I need to know, and I'm still educating myself on business knowledge. It is very important to really improve that ability, and that is one thing that was happening.
Yeah.
So I think that is really amazing. I think one thing I was talking about with the last couple of weeks, I don't know, people were really getting into watching about the entertainment world, entertainers. So with the entertainers, I was talking about how they have sport
Patrick.
people, sport players. Then you might have like the beauty queens, who are models, top models. Then you might have people who are like music singers, maybe even play a music instrument. And then of course, you have the adult entertainers. And one entertainer I had left out, didn't
Uh-huh.
talk about them for all these years, but there's another group of entertainers that are also around this, is people who make movies. And there are another number of entertainers who that did stop at the different tennis centers. And over the years, I think one most notably was Brad Pitt. I've seen him over the years, talked to him a number of times. But there were some other movie makers that were also stopping off at
Mm-hmm.
the tennis events. And that is really very interesting. I think the movie makers, I think coming by my court, watching the tennis, I don't know if it develops into a movie about tennis. It's a possibility. Just by chance, when I was younger, I knew the whole thing with the entertainment because my girlfriend Delilah knew Dorothy Hamill, and Dorothy Hamill was friends with Dean Martin Jr. So I don't know if years ago people used to watch Dean Martin on television. They had and his son Dean Martin Jr.,
Oh.
which was he was really doing a lot of achieving. He's did acting. He was in the Air Force too, and and he played some tennis. He was very good at tennis. I played him in a tournament match. It was set up in a tournament match when I was in just graduating high school. I played him in a tournament match, and he played very nice. He played an excellent match.
Yeah.
of tennis. Of course, I won the match, but it was very interesting. At that time, I was also getting into piloting airplanes, and he was really someone who was very serious
Mm-hmm.
into flying airplanes. He was flying, I remember at the time he was flying some KC 103s or something, and then he wanted to head over into flying some fighter jets, and I think he did get to switch over to those, which is an interesting story. I mean, his story is that he can go farther and farther and farther in that aviation world. I think my path with the aviation world has sort of stopped. I really didn't conform to everything with it, and so it sort of stopped. But his was continuing on. He was continuing into that aviation world. I think he really liked tennis. I remember talking to him for a few minutes, and he really liked the idea of pro tennis too. So he could see that I could play excellent tennis. He was an excellent tennis player, but he sort of liked the idea of even advancing his playing in tennis too, which is very interesting. Talking to him, he wasn't involved with anything like architect work or anything like that. But he had his work with the with flying, piloting, and then he told me also that he was into acting too. He was in a movie where the movie was about a tennis player. He really was the same actor that was in that movie, which is very interesting. So even though we were playing some serious tennis, pro level national tournament tennis, he was already finished a whole movie on tennis players and playing tennis, which is very interesting. Um, I think, unfortunately, sadly, I heard he did pass on like a year or two. I don't know how many years later. He
Okay.
did pass on. I heard there was some kind of event happened with his flying in California. I played him all the way here on Long Island, right there on my court in Jericho. He came there and Dorothy Hamill was there to watch the match, which was amazing. And my girlfriend Delilah had showed up at the time. So this is really very interesting. So he was involved with really acting in movies, which is really amazing. As far as the movie makers, at that tennis event, there were no one else was really there to watch the match. There wasn't any movie makers or anything like that. There were other movie makers. I have to remember their names. I don't remember all of them, but there were more of them. I'll see if I can remember more of their names of who they were. But they were movie makers, always watching my tennis matches, and maybe looking at making a movie about my tennis playing. I'm not 100% certain. And so there was a lot of entertainers in movies, movie playing. I think the one with Demon Jr., he really already had finished that whole movie on tennis. So
Yeah.
I guess the scenes with him playing tennis, it was really him. He knew how to play tennis very well, and he was an excellent tennis player, and that was really very interesting, and that was an interesting time there with playing tennis
Yep.
and Delilah's
Aw, Delilah. Every time I hear that song, I think of you, by the way. My kids play it all the time.
and yeah, I think that was really amazing. So she was also into tapping into people who knew entertainers. It's the same idea where this was like a group of people entertaining. They're going out. I think Dorothy Hamill and Demon Jr. They were going out together at the time. So that's how this friendship happened, and I was able to play this tennis match, which is very interesting. I think later on in the year, I was able to play another one of Dorothy Hamill's friends too, playing tennis too. That was a very nice match also later on. I don't know if he was involved with any kind of acting or anything. I'll have to research it. I forget the names and everything like that. But that was really very interesting. So that's really what was happening. There was a lot of fun things going on. And I was still very
I'm
young. I
sure.
was still just 18 years old at this time, just
Wow.
graduating high school, and there was a lot of very interesting things going on. As far as I was saying, Brad Pitt, I did know him at a young age because just by an interesting set of group of friends, I knew Robin Mead. She was a
Yep.
girlfriend of mine. Uh, we went in art class, but she was very nice, and she is will turn out to be friends with Delilah, and Robin Mead knows Angel Jolie. Everyone knows Angel Jolie in the tabloids, and of course, Jolie is friends with Brad Pitt at the time when we were younger. And just by chance, we had met in the mall. They're very nice people, and they're really very interesting. And
Yep.
but just by chance, since my career continued on past the age of 18, going so many years forward, I in fact
Yep.
always did get a number of stop-ins from Brad Pitt in particular. He used to stop over
Oh my
and take a look
gosh.
at my tennis
John, you're
playing.
killing me. Any more
And
stories? But we're almost out of time, so you got to wrap it up. But go
uh,
ahead.
But he is one of the movie makers. I think I started to realize what's going on with the movie makers and everything as I progressed. I was, getting a little older. He stopped over, always said hello to me and everything. And but he's the one really getting into making movies. And but there were some other people who also movie makers that were there. I'll have to remember their names, who they were. But in particular, he was someone that I knew when I was very young with Delilah.
Yeah.
and a network of different friends, and they progressed on as I was playing. The same people, Brad Pitt, would show up at some of my tennis centers over the years, and of course would always see my tennis playing.
Yep.
I think he might have been interested in maybe making a movie out of my tennis playing.
Oh my
Not
gosh.
100% certain about the definites on that, but
Awesome.
that was one interesting part of the entertainment, and that's the one part of the entertainers involved with that group of people was people who make movies, movie creators, I guess, movie writers, movie directors. Those very interesting.
All right. Well, thank
Now that
you.
I'm older, taking some time to think about all those things, I'm putting together all those people and sharing it with you. It's
Oh,
all
thank you so
good,
much.
nice things, and it's really interesting.
Oh, well, pleasure having you here, John. How do we contact you?
Sure, you can go onto my webpage, www.johnriggio.com. I'm also on X, just put my name in there. I'm on Facebook, John Riggio Pro Tennis Player, and there's all kinds of links and pictures. You really like it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you, hon. Bye-bye,
Welcome,
everyone.
bye.
See you soon.
Hello, my name is John Riggio. I'm the CEO of John Riggio, RA Architect, LLC. I provide architect services in the New York City metropolitan area. That includes New York City, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. My areas are specifically Long Island, the 5 boroughs of New York City, Westchester, Yonkers. In New Jersey, it is North Jersey, Central Jersey, and South Jersey. In Philadelphia, the areas are the Philadelphia metropolitan area. You can find out more information about my company at www.johnriggio.com. That's spelled JOHNRIGGIO.com. And there you will find out a description of my work. It shows a portfolio, pictures of the different job types. And I also have my contact information there. It shows my business address. From there, you can contact me and we can discuss your project. First, we will make an initial consultation. And then from there, we will then go over designing your project and then constructing your project. So I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. Bye.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Let's go inside the mind of a 10-year-old.
I should have worn those earrings today. I like those earrings. Gabby has those awesome earrings. I need to ask her where she got those, but that's just what she would want me to do. I'll have Michaela ask her for me.
Buckle up, Sarah.
Yeah, but then Michaela will be like, why don't you just ask her yourself? That's just like Michaela.
Sarah, buckle up.
Michaela's such a great name. I wish I was called Michaela. There's like a dozen Sarahs in my class.
Hey, we're not hitting the road until you buckle up, honey.
Oh yeah, seatbelt. I forget sometimes because my brain is like busy, you know? I wonder if there's pizza at school today.
Sometimes it can be tough to get through to your kids, but it's not impossible. Always make sure they're wearing their seatbelts, even on short drives. Remember, you have the keys, you have the power. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. Visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup for more information.